My name is Shane Fitzgerald. I'm dairy farming here in Portlaw, County Waterford. We're on the foothills of the Cumber Mountains, and we're also close to River Shore, so a lovely part of the country. We're spring calving dairy herds, so we basically make 200 cows on the farm. I'm farming with my dad, John, who's here full-time, and also my fiancée, Kate, who's here full-time. So we're very much a family farm. We're spring calving and grass-based, so we basically calve our cows in February and March, and we get them straight out to grass then. So it's a very simple, it's a low-cost system and hopefully sustainable as well. You can see here one of our owl boxes up on an ash tree up here. So that was put up last summer. So you can see it's actually facing out here towards the open. So if an owl is flying past, you'd be hoping one might spot the hole in the owl box and might move in. So that's also sheltered as well from the wind, because the southwest prevailing wind comes on this side. So it's the perfect position really. So, and you can also see actually here beside us we have all multi-species in this section of the farm as well. So you can see all the clover throughout the sward. You can see it's all going into flower, and you can see all the taller I suppose leaves are all plantain, and there's some chicory in there as well. So it's exactly what it is. It's what it says on the tin. It's a mixed species, and if you were able to dig that up now, you can see all the different roots, lengths as well. So yeah, I think we're going to have to use a lot more swards like that over the next number of years, because they are more drought resilient as well. And we get a wet day as well, like today as well. It's better for the soil, because basically with the longer roots, it basically allows the water to filter down through the soil better. So that's one thing we noticed during the wet winter this year, was actually the water would the fields would be wet, but the water would soak down through the soil a lot faster. And we've also noticed last year during drier weather that basically we could get maybe around 40 kilos of growth in our grass fields during a kind of a dry spell, whereas when the multi-species was sown, we basically had double the growth during that kind of week after the dry spell. So for about a week to 10 days, you could be growing 80 kilos per day. So you're getting double the growth. So that's basically because you have the deeper roots that can get down further into the soil for the water. So we basically have this whole section here. There's 3 meters actually left here. You can see between the hedgerow and the fence. So before, our fence was actually all the way in here, was basically on top of the hedgerow. So there was no room really left for nature at all. So by moving out 3 meters, we've left this, I suppose, high grass, and over time you'd hope different types of varieties will come into it over the years. Like, so it should be more diverse, and it'll be a nice habitat for like the field mice and shrews and ground nests and birds. But just I think it's a nice thing to have on the farm. I think we can all leave a little bit of room, no matter what size your farm is. It's all relative. So basically, if we move out 3 meters on a section of our farm, I think every farm can move out 3 meters on a small percentage of their farm. Another simple measure we've actually done in the last few years is actually cutting out using pesticides around our electric fences and around our hedgerows. So we would have always sprayed all around our electric fences because we wanted to have good current on the farm and wanted to keep the farm neat and tidy, and that's the mindset of a lot of farmers. To be honest, I think it's something small that we can all do, and we still have good current in our fences. So it's something I think we just need to change our mindset on, and it does take a little bit of time just to get our head around having weeds on the farm, but I suppose gradually you can change that over time. So down here, this is our big 50-acre block with no internal hedgerows or boundaries. So last November we actually planted a new native hedge, and it was part of the acres programme. So there's 460 metres altogether. So we have a roadway running down the middle of our paddocks. So we basically put around 230 metres on this side and 230 metres at the other side. And we divided up, basically, there's 2 paddocks at the lower side of the hedgerow now and 2 paddocks at the top side of it. So basically divided in half. So it'll basically be 25 acres really on either side of it. So when this grows up into a tree-line hedge, we have cut it once just so it'll be dense on the bottom, but we're going to leave it grow up. It will provide a great shelter for the cows. They wouldn't have had much shelter in this area before. We are a large farm. We're well above the average dairy farm in Ireland, but I suppose we're just trying to show that we can have a herd like this, and at the same time that we can have, I suppose, things like the hedgerows, and we can have space for having a pond on the farm and our field margin. So just to show they can all go hand in hand. So we're not affecting the cow's performance. You can see this field isn't taken over by loads of weeds. it's grass and clover. The cows are happy and content. So we're still having a productive and profitable farm, but we're farming in an environmentally sustainable way as well. That's a legacy I'd like to leave behind, that we have an attractive place to work. At the same time, we've left a legacy of leaving the land in a better place than we got, because whatever people say about farmers, there's no farmer wants to run down the environment or leave the farm in the worst place than they got it. Everyone wants to improve it, and it's in our best interest to improve the land and the environment around us. So that's my goal in the long term. So that keeps me very motivated.